Sometimes the room keeps clapping inside you long after the applause is gone. It's 11:40 at night, and you're standing in a hotel lobby after a networking event, one hand around a cold glass, while the air conditioning runs too hard above you. People just spent the evening smiling at you, asking for your thoughts, treating your presence like proof that they were in the right room. So why does being admired feel so heavy afterward? This may be the exhaustion of being the person everyone looks up to. In this video, I'll walk through why that kind of role can wear on a person, and one quiet way to come back to yourself when the room is finally empty. Being looked up to can mean people see your strength before they see your limits, so you start carrying the image they trust, even when the person underneath feels tired. One common reason is the pressure to stay composed in rooms where everyone is reading you for reassurance. When people look to you for direction, your face can become part of the event, almost like a sign that says everything is under control. You may laugh at the right moment, nod at the right person, and answer with calm words while a part of you is tracking every expression around you. It can make even a normal conversation feel like quiet labor, because you are not only speaking, you are holding the temperature of the room. Sometimes, it comes from being rewarded for never showing the full cost. If people have praised you for being steady, sharp, dependable, or always fine, it can feel strange to let them see the parts of you that are not polished. Over time, admiration can turn into a small cage, because the more people respect the image, the harder it feels to step outside it. So you keep smiling through the handshake, even when your mind is already searching for the nearest exit. In other cases, it grows out of a life where being impressive became safer than being honest. Maybe there was a time when people gave you more warmth when you performed well, solved problems, or seemed above the mess that other people admitted out loud. That can teach a person to bring the useful version of themselves into every room, even when the softer version is the one asking to be seen. So later, in a hotel lobby with perfume in the air and carpet swallowing every footstep, you may feel surrounded by respect and still oddly alone. It's late, maybe 11:40, and the networking event has ended, but the room has not really released you yet. The lobby is quiet in that expensive way, with thick carpet, low lamps, and the small sound of glass touching glass behind the bar. Someone across the room still waves at you like you belong to the evening, like your presence has a job even after the conversations are over. You raise your hand back, smile without thinking, and then your face drops the second they turn away. There is no big breakdown, no dramatic moment, just a sudden emptiness under the neat jacket, the name badge, the watch, the familiar role. If you've been there, you're not strange. You might know someone who lives like this. This is what praise can feel like when it lands on the version of you that is already worn out. The hard part is that nothing bad happened. In fact, from the outside, it may look like a good night. People listened when you spoke. They remembered your name. They introduced you to someone important. They laughed when you made a small comment, and a few of them said they hope to stay connected. But the body can tell a different story. Your shoulders may feel tight from holding posture for too long. Your cheeks may feel tired from smiling on time. Your mind may replay a moment where someone asked a thoughtful question, and instead of enjoying it, you felt a small weight, because you knew they were not only asking for an answer. They were asking you to be the person they imagined you were. That is a lonely place to stand. Not because people are cruel. Often, they are not. Many of them may genuinely respect you. They may mean well when they say, "I really look up to you," or "You always seem so calm," or "I don't know how you do it." But a compliment can still create distance when it only reaches the part of you that performs well. There is a quiet emotional contradiction here. You can be admired and unseen at the same time. You can be surrounded by people who value you and still feel like no one is close enough to notice the strain. You can be thanked for your steadiness while privately wondering where your own steadiness went. And that is where the exhaustion becomes different from ordinary tiredness. Ordinary tiredness can come from a long day, a long flight, too much talking, not enough rest. This kind of tiredness comes from being watched kindly but not fully. It comes from being treated like a landmark in other people's lives while you are still trying to find a quiet place to put your own thoughts down. It is not loud. It just settles in after the room empties. A person in that position may start making small trades without noticing. They trade honesty for smoothness. They trade rest for availability. They trade their actual mood for the version of their mood that keeps everyone else comfortable. None of these trades may look serious on their own, but over time, they can leave a person feeling far away from themselves. One gentle place to begin is noticing the moment when the roll keeps going after the room ends. Maybe it happens in the elevator, when you are alone for 12 floors and still standing like someone might walk in. Maybe it happens when you get back to the hotel room and place the key card on the desk, but your face is still arranged for other people. In that small gap, you might quietly name what is happening. I am still carrying the room. Not as a judgment, not as a fix, just as a way of telling the truth without making it large. Then it can help to make one small private move that belongs only to you. Loosen the watch. Take off the name badge. Let the glass sit on the counter without finishing it. Sit on the edge of the bed before answering any messages. These are small actions, but they remind the body that the performance has an ending. They give the person underneath the role a little proof that not every minute belongs to being impressive. There is also a quieter question that can soften the pressure. Instead of asking, "How do I stay worthy of this respect?" you might ask, "Where did I feel most far from myself tonight?" The answer may be simple. Maybe it was when you laughed at a joke you did not find funny. Maybe it was when someone praised your calm, and you felt a small ache because they had no idea how much effort that calm was taking. Maybe it was when you gave wise words to a stranger while wishing someone would ask how you were getting home. That question matters because it brings the focus back from the image to the person. It does not take away the role. It does not erase responsibility, talent, leadership, or the respect people feel. It just lets you notice where the cost collects. And sometimes noticing the cost is the first honest breath after a night of holding everything together. But there's one detail people often miss, and it changes how you see the whole thing. Being looked up to is not the same as being held. Admiration looks upward. Care comes closer. Admiration may say, "You're amazing." Care may say, "That looked like a lot." Admiration may celebrate what you carry. Care notices that you have been carrying it for a while. A lot of exhaustion comes from confusing the two. When many people admire you, it can look like you are surrounded by connection. But admiration can still leave a person untouched in the places where they feel most human. The more polished your role becomes, the more carefully people may approach you. They may assume you are fine because you sound fine. They may assume you are strong because you have been strong in public. And after a while, even you may forget that the room is reacting to a version of you, not the whole of you. So the quiet return is not about becoming less capable. It is about letting one private moment tell the truth. Maybe the truth is, "I'm proud of how I handled tonight, and I'm also tired." Maybe it is, "I like being respected, but I miss being easy around someone." Maybe it is, "I can be the person people look up to, and still be a person who comes back to an empty room and feels the silence." This is for the person who looks steady in every room, then feels unheld when the room is empty. There is nothing wrong with being respected. But respect is not the whole meal. Sometimes the part of you that feels exhausted is not rejecting the role. It is asking to exist outside of it. And maybe, at the end of a long night, with the lobby quiet behind you and the elevator doors closing, that is enough to notice.